And hello and welcome. My name is Martin, and today what we're going to be doing is looking at a couple of different things that we can do for exterior lighting. Now, we did do the cars already, so you've been introduced to pretty much all the lights. So I'm not going to reintroduce them. All I'm going to do is run into a couple of weird things that sometimes sort of happen with lights. So let's take a look at them. Right now I've got this on unlit. Let's go ahead and push play, and I've set a couple of things out just to see what we can do. So let's go ahead and push play. And well, I guess it's starting us over there, so let's go back to the front and walk in this way essentially. Okay, so the first thing obviously is that we do have our lamp up there. It doesn't have any lights on it right now, so we'll go in there and do something with that. This thing like completely lights up. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it looks like the stone should be being hit by beams of light coming in from all direction as opposed to being lit. Now, this is just the way this object comes in. It comes in that bright, which probably for a daytime scene would be great. But if you were going to use it again for a nighttime scene, you might want to check it to make sure that it's not going to do anything weird like this when you bring it into a nighttime level. So, you know, you might just have a level that you open up and you put all the objects that you're going to use into, and then you turn you do this to the sky, and then you see how those objects are going to react. Cause that is totally weird. The fact that it's just like super bright like that. Now, the next thing is, these lamps, the Oriental style lamps. They actually, I didn't have to do anything to that. They actually came in with their own lights. Where in this object it was a distraction, in these objects it's actually wanted, because now I don't have to do really any light work for that. It's already done for me. Obviously we've seen the tree, so we don't even need to talk about the tree. That thing is just weird, unless of course you were going to explain away that in some kind of like maybe a storyline, which you wouldn't know unless you took all your objects and put them into a dark environment and saw how they were going to react. From there, what I've done also is I've gone to the interior of the house and I set up some lighting as far as like things that could be like hanging lights. And I just want you to pay attention to one thing. You know, depending on how bright I'm going to have that light, that one light with it's actually got a pin light, a point light in it. That's super bright, and it actually lights up the entire room really well. So, you know, I mapped it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, but I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those things. It's already like super bright. So, you know, sometimes less is more. But we'll just have to go in there and see when we play around with that. Now, up here, really what we have is the light that was coming off of the computers. So we might enhance that a little bit depending on how dark the room is. These lights should be brighter. I'm sure everybody's been in a room with a computer on and knows that there's actually light that gets hit on those back walls. So we might need to create a blue light for that if we're going to keep this room dark. Okay, so with those things in mind, let's go ahead and start working. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape. We're going to be in unlit. I'm going to remove this thing because it doesn't make sense. I don't like it. We're going to keep with this one. And let's see if this thing even has, what kind of finish is that? It does look like there is a glass element in there. Okay, so this will be more or less like the car, so I'm not going to spend too much time explaining. We're going to put a point light to create the effect of the lamp itself. That's the moon. Where'd my lamp go? Oh, okay. Huh, it felt like it hid with the moon. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we just need to, let me go back to unlit so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. All right, so with that, then we're going to put a spotlight. Okay, I can already tell that's going to be too wide. All right, let's go back to... And we're really off, so let's go back to unlit. Let's position it. Okay, so the beam of light didn't come out, which means that it's probably buried in there. Probably need to pull it down just a little bit. Okay. Bring the brightness way up, see if that makes a difference. Let's go into unlit. It might also be that we need to do another build on the lighting. So that might happen a couple of times. You might be, this is great that this actually happened. So I'll speed this up and we'll do a, let me actually pull that down. Ah, okay. No, it really was that it was like way too up into the light. All right, let's try pushing play. There we go. So now we have our street light. It looks like there is something in the light itself. We look down and we get the lamp with the nice kind of like a soft edge to it. Okay, so once we've got those, all we have to do now is copy and paste them. So let's go to back to unlit. Select one light, hold shift. I'm sorry, it's control. Okay, we'll hold Alt and drag out. That should give us the additional pair. And then it's just dragging it into the right position. All right, let's push play. We're actually going to, okay, we definitely see that we're getting both the beams down there on the ground. And let's go ahead and push play and see that it feels okay when we walk to it. All right, very nice. Okay, so that's one. Next one that we're going to take care of were the ones that were actually on the wall over here. Okay, so these are going to be rect lights. So let's grab a rect light. Let's put it up against the wall. Let's figure out which direction it's actually facing by going back into lit. Let's rotate it in the right direction. Okay, and what I'm doing with this is more or less I want to get the light that would be up against the wall, and then we're going to use the point light to project light forward. So, you know, so it feels correct. Okay, same thing. We probably don't need that at full blast. And then we get the light on the floor. Just want to make sure it's more or less in the right place. And probably don't need it that big. Just enough to where it can start hitting the floor. Okay, and the other thing I did was I increased what's called the source radius. So instead of the light being a circle, the light itself is actually more a tube size, and I think I actually have that coming out the top of the roof, so I don't think I want to do that. Let's minimize this a little bit, and I'll just push it down. That way we get some little bit of some funky shadows there. And actually, that's probably a little bit too big. Let's do something more or less like that. All right, very cool. Now that we have those two lights in combination, I still think they might be a little bit too bright. I'm going to go back to the right light, and let's put this down to a 1. And let's go back to this light, and let's bring this also down to maybe a 1. Okay. Now I'm seeing a little bit too much of the rectangle on this guy. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just... Let's see if we can... Oh, that's the box. Let's see. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay, so it's just a matter of finessing it. I just don't want them to be super bright because I'm going to have one right around on the other side of the corner. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to select the other one, hold Control, grab both of them, do a Control C, a Control V. Let's rotate those out 90 degrees, and then let's put them in their proper place. And so what I want you to notice that I'm doing, obviously, is that I'm trying to keep the lights the same distance, just so then that way if I have two of the same type of light, they're more or less acting the same way. I mean, you could theoretically take this a step further and make sure that, you know, you could copy this, the mesh with it, and you could probably put those in a group together. And then that way, as you move one light, they all move together. Okay, we're going to hit Alt and drag. All right, very cool. So now we have some of that exterior lighting that's there. Next thing I guess we'll fix real quick is the situation that I've got going on in here. One of the things that I might want to test, I'll go to that light. Let's again drop it down to, I don't know, let's say 2. That's still significantly bright. Let's bring it down to, let's say, a 0.5. That's also significantly bright. Let's bring the attenuation radius down so it's not hitting as much of an area. And that's still pretty bright. Let's go ahead and push play, see what it feels like. So again, that one light is still hitting the room pretty hard. So at that point, you know, it may be the fact that the walls are highly reflective and they're bouncing a lot of the light back in. It could be that the attenuation ratio radius is too big. I don't know. Let's see. Let's take it down to 0.1 if we can. And then let's bring the radius down to, let's say, 50, so it's just right around the light. Let's push play. Let's walk back in the house. And now even that is too bright. Now the other thing that could be happening here is we might need to do a build on the lighting. For whatever reason, maybe the lighting is not picking up, or the area is not picking up the response to us actually making the light smaller, and it's still reflecting where it would have been if the light was larger when it was or where the light was the last time we built. So let's hit escape real quick. Let's actually do a quick build lighting only, and I'll speed this up in the video and we'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, sorry, my mic was off. So basically, yeah, it didn't come in very bright. So we're gonna go back, and I actually made that a little bit brighter for when it comes in. And the other thing I'm also adding is a point light. I'm sorry, a spotlight. Okay, so we'll do another build. We'll see what that ends up looking like. And then the other thing we'll also do real quick before we do that, the build, let me go back to unlit. And up here at the top, what I've done is I've created more or less something like recessed lighting. I found a recessed lighting box. And now what I want to do is I want to put a light in there. So I'm going to grab another point light. But this time we're going to stretch it. So we're going to go to source radius and make it a little bit wider, so that it actually has a ball shape to it. And then we're going to take source length and we're going to make it into a longer light. Now obviously we'll have to flip this, let's say 90 degrees, and then let's line this up where it looks like it's going to be part of this light. Okay, if we need to, we could probably go into the lit and just see how that's pushing through. Again, probably too bright. Let's go back. Let's dial it down to about 4. And let's make this a little bit longer. Okay, I probably don't need the radius to be that big, so let's thin it up. All right, we've basically made tube lighting. Okay. Going to make it fit the whole thing. So let's go, I don't know, let's say 350. Let's try 400. Okay. Now that looks plenty bright for the room. So we may actually bring this down to 2 because I have 2 other ones in there. Okay, so we'll put another one here, and we'll put another one there. Okay, very cool. So our upstairs room is lit slightly differently than our downstairs room. Okay, so the downstairs room will have that. Let's just go and grab this guy real quick, and I think I just want to make this. No, I think it's fine. Okay, I probably don't need the middle ones. We go back to unlit. Okay, so we've got both of the lights. Now what we'll do is another copy and paste, or an alt. Okay, and with both sets, I'm going to drag them over and grab the last 2. So we're going to hit Alt again. Ugh. Okay, whatever. Something about the angle was only letting me grab it in one direction. Which is fine. And we kept one of the axes the same, so we should be able to drop that in roughly the same space. Okay, so now we have those lights. Let's hit unlit, or go from that to lit. Okay. So we now have our lighting indoors. We have that lighting up there. We have some lighting going around the outside here. We've done that lamp there. And I think all I have left is, nope, that's it. Okay, so let's do a quick build. I'll pause the video and we'll come right back, and we'll just take a look and see what that looks like. Okay, so let me go and pause. Okay, so the build is finished. Let's take a look. Let's push play. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like the way the inside room is lit. That's pretty nice. These are still a little bit bright. That looks okay. Let's look at the first floor. Okay, maybe one in the middle, or maybe spreading them out a little bit. So, unless of course there were supposed to be certain things, because this kind of lighting makes me feel like there should be something sitting there, sort of like a Indiana Jones kind of deal, where he's like, you know, they've highlighted the deal. Let's go look upstairs. It's a bit bright up here, but it looked really good from outside. We could probably tone it down just a little bit. But anyways, you guys have seen now more or less everything that's happens, any unusual things that might happen with also that any entrances or exits should be well marked. So in that way the character or whoever's playing can find them. So maybe a light on the wall or something close to the door to let us know that that's where the door is. Because when I came back in from here, it was kind of difficult to see where the door was. Yep, just initially, and then afterwards people know where it is. Okay, cool. So that's lighting the house. That was doing both exterior lighting like this and any interior lighting where we messed around with both the point light and the spotlight, and we even used a rect light here on the side in a combination with these over here, or with those lights. Okay, so we've used the same 3 lights now to decorate or light both a vehicle and now the interior and exterior of the house. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.